you believe. I think it's really tough. It is a hard one to call here, but I think I'm going to have to side with Endpoint. I just feel like, a map like this for Heavy God and NertZ is really going to allow those two players that have been playing well. We didn't see as much out of MHL either on the last map, so hopefully him with the AWP. Very AWP-heavy map. We'll see. We'll see. That side start might have a big impact for it, and it is going to be 9 starting off on the CT side. So, T side, difficult one, risky one. They're going to have to make sure that they have everything on the docket here on that Endpoint side. We'll see. Moving into the action of our third and final to stay alive here in the European Conference. 3PL Season 17. It's going to be 4 versus 4 in towards middle. Oh my goodness, not wasting a single second as they move through. NertZ going to find 2, though. That's the big difference. There's no trade onto NertZ and a 3v2 when the dust settles.
Oh, look at all the space Max has taken in the meantime. All the way through B. Big duel now onto Hades. Hades is looking down short. Max, are you going to peek? He just sits in towards the corner. Big duel towards the back of B, and Max wins. Okay. Well, Kylar might be here, but he has to hit some sensational shots. Double peek as these two players come out together, and Bob makes his way up, and now it becomes impossible, I think. NertZ even spots and falls back to be with his teammates. As long as Endpoint play together, I don't see how Kylar can win this round.
MHL, nice find onto Kylar. Not going to happen for him. Keen headshot at the tail end, and Endpoint, they've managed to find that opening pistol. The one thing they have going for them all the time, of course, is the fact that they have these super strong pistols. Love to see that for them, and we'll see. Again, going to go somewhere down the middle. Not a full spend for all the players on that 9 side.
Heavy B start from 9, all the nades. Look like they're going to be really good, but actually they don't really connect that well. Okay, NertZ. Very unorthodox miss for him. He normally is, always taking those aggressive shots when he comes out of, chaotic situations. But this time, he's going to hit the deck. Trade is there from Max, but these smokes have now faded on mid, and it's allowing Hades to push back in. MHL, wow. That's a shot. This kid can rifle, that's for sure. 2 fast kills make it free. Well, they got him. Good all-round player.
Saw the potential, and indeed, we've touched on that. The sort of all-round nature of him means that he's able to maybe be left a little bit more alone, whereas in previous years, Crucial has been just that to the Endpoint mission directive, let's say. But now they can use NertZ a bit more. And Heavy God, even just over the past couple of days, feels like he's assimilated well into this team. So gives them a few more options in terms of where the resources end up.
It's also with the kind of modern day Counter-Strike and how the economy is all over the place, how you want to change your pace, you want to play different styles. You don't want to have a player that as soon as he's not on an AWP becomes a liability. Yeah. And MHL's quite the opposite. I mean, I've seen enough of them. T-side Vertigo, for example, now. If MHL's not AWPing, he'll still very comfortably play A on his own on a rifle. So he's confident in his own abilities. He's able to call around himself. He shows great potential. And with Heavy God also playing so well, this is kind of the thing. This is the kind of the ultimate kind of tell that fundamentally Endpoint are making too many mistakes is when you look at the lineup, you're like, oh, MHL's good. NertZ is really good. Heavy God's playing well today. Tyrell always does the job. Max is calling okay. Well, why aren't we winning more games? Surely there has to be a reason, and I think it goes all back to those fundamentals.
Yep. Very true. Well, we'll see. MHL's activated here. He's 8-0 so far. Yeah, he's way up the scoreboard, so maybe could be a game that he takes over. We'll see. Time will tell. Those eco frags come easy for MHL. Anything else to come easy? Very different battle for him moving forwards. Org out for Key. We saw this one yesterday as well. The org for the Jag sort of area. Is that where he's going to end up? I certainly hope so with a gun like that. Either way, Hades has got the AWP out nice and early.
Yeah, just playing solo away. Pretty common stuff in the current day here on Ancient. Max top spawn takes this fast control in towards Jaguar. Notice at the same time it's clearing out mid. So a lot of control actually for Endpoint. They've got good chunk of the map, and MHL trying to work a pick. It doesn't pay off. He's going to hit the deck. No opportunity for a trade. And now the pace really drops. His Endpoint have got to make some hard decisions now they're a man down about how they approach this round. Key and Kylo are actually... I'm kind of stunned, Scrib. I don't know why they're clearing mid in the man advantage. It seems a bit reckless. Fortunately for them, NertZ couldn't, remove a scalp and make them pay for it.
Yep. Recklessness in the early rounds. Ancient does hand itself into that. The Org out here playing some longer range angles. Of course, there's been a couple of edits over towards B, so maybe the Org a bit more viable. Key just trying it for a sec.
Oh, they're in trouble.
Hades on the orb.
They've got one flash, man. They've got one flash and it's on B right now. Oh,
okay.
no.
Hades so missing the shot. He has been missing a few. His nerves getting the better of him today, it feels like. Minio thought he was covered. Molly comes in. Hades does manage to find a trade frag, but this is all over. The bomb is the player that he managed to drop, though. Meanwhile, Heavy God's in on the site for 2. They just have no info, no idea where they were coming from. That is an absolute mess from the CT side, and Goofy had a moment to maybe make it doable, but it doesn't happen for him. 4 rounds on the trot here for Endpoint.
Ooh. Vertigo, of course, was a very different story, wasn't it? Where both halves, 9 were winning out early. Standing home in their authority. It's not the case here. Half buy comes in. Plenty of utility. A lot of utility, actually, so I hope they make good use of this. They have actually invested quite a lot in that respect. And that molly doesn't connect on towards the cubby. Surreal gets the first, and Goofy's trying to force out some fights. He feels like he has to make good on all this util usage, but I think he's a dead man. How is he still alive, honestly? I can't believe it. There he goes. Just a Minio left, and, well, without armor, just a deagle. Even a kill here will be quite a result. Does get 1, but I dare say it won't be a whole lot more.
Yep. He's miles away from the action. He's got an opportunity onto NertZ. Okay. Wow, what a flick. Lightning fast. And well, he's awarded with a golden AK. The greatest of AKs. It looks like he's set to save that one. They don't want to give him any more kills, so it will just be the bomb to end this round, but Endpoint with 5 on a trot, another strong start from them. Something they actually lacked a little bit on Vertigo, I will add. Fights are coming in. They are tracking him down here. MHL on the AWP. Got to be careful not to go down. I mean, so does Max, to be fair. Minio on the AWP. Not going to find the head, unfortunately, so the AK does not get saved.
Okay, second gun round. And Endpoint have kept a lot of players alive on some of the anti-ecos. Max has got 11k in the bank. Wow. Even with UK inflation, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, we've been talking
at the moment.
A little bit about the UK
not soon.
economy. Yeah, I was going to say.
There'll be a loaf of bread next week.
Less said, the better, I think. We must enjoy the Counter-Strike and ignore the outside world.
That's why we're all here. It's all escapism.
Yeah, literally. Literally.
I think I'd have a meltdown if all I did was look at the value of my stocks investments, Just be like, oh my god.
Yeah. I don't know.
Just lost a whole day rate.
Yeah. It's on the way, so, we're just going to have to enjoy the Counter-Strike as that keeps on coming, and there's stacks of it on the way, of course. Wherever you look. Nice find for Hades on the AWP to open us up here and get us talking about more pleasant things, such as the
death and bullets, yeah.
Lovely flash. Lovely flash coming in as well to take out MHL. So, 9 looking set to get their first round as we get this train back on the rails, and a double spray down. Derails it once again as soon as it gets back on. So, Endpoint, they will lose their first round. And it would be poetic, isn't it? And a UK org, we talk about the state of the UK, and they end up losing a round. So, Caster's Curse, it's useful in many ways.
True that. Pause comes in. I'm guessing Regin's taking a pause just to ask, what the heck just happened? What happened? It was a bit bizarre because MHL peaked with NertZ. MHL peaks on the upper railing in mid, on the kind of the how to describe it. You know, the bit where the bricks jut out a little bit on the right side. So they're upper lower peaking, and MHL somehow doesn't trade NertZ when that's kind of the whole point, is that NertZ, he's not just getting a molly out because for fun. He's getting his molly out to clear out the back of the cube, and MHL should be holding him. So I don't really know what's gone wrong there. That probably is the main thing they had to discuss here, because from there, that everyone just, you know, tries to get take fights and it doesn't work. But that was really the first domino, which was soon followed by a cascade of other dominoes. Here we go then. Endpoint back on the buy. And look at this A aggression too here. Hades has played an astonishing amount of A so far, and despite playing a lot of A, he's found 3 different ways to play it already, and proving quite hard for Endpoint to read what's coming. Oh, this timing's brutal. Look at Heavy God's just come off holding A.
Pretty nasty. Oh, and they're pushing in so very deep. Boost up as well. Nearly gets them a kill onto Surreal. Sorry. So they're really looking solid. NertZ. Middle. I mean,
big
it's a hard
fight.
clear. Nice one for Heavy God. However, from behind that we kind of totally missed. He wasn't ready for the second player. But 4-on-4.
It's pretty mad here, because despite having all the information for so long, it's still 3-on-2 here on B for Endpoint. If these players go down, they're in for a lot of trouble. Minio dies in window. NertZ is cutting the map in half. And I think they've applied the brakes. Endpoint. Surreal's going to go down. NertZ does indeed get the B kill. So the A kill. And yeah, well, that round's just completely fallen apart.
Okay.
That was really strange. I can't believe they had all the info and didn't have more numbers over.
NertZ was also the linchpin play there, and wasn't actually really needed in the end. He just took numbers down and gave his team confidence to go for peaks, apparently. Either way, Endpoint is straight back on the board. They will have cash on that 9 side thanks to loss bonus, and just, I guess, the way that the money has worked out. They're pretty lucky in that sense, but all the same. Endpoint get themselves a 6th round immediately on the return, and 6 already on the T side for Ancient. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'd say Nuke's got to be the most CT-sided, but this is just right behind it at the moment. Depends on what level.
I'd wager with the stats that Ancient's more CT, actually. Here we go, then B-pop. Oh my god, Keys the only player here. He's in a lot of trouble. Does get the first. Heavy God needs this trade. Does come in the end. Ollie's going to keep Goofy a little bit at bay, but he can actually peek behind them. Fortunately, Bomb is being planted on his side of the pillar, and he goes through. That's very aggressive. Max does get the trade. 3v3 now, and Max is absolutely trapped on the bomb site. I think he's a dead man after the smoke starts to fade, and MHL not providing a lot of help. NertZ needs to get over to him. 2-on-2, and Max is still dancing around this pillar. He's been there for so long, and now just 1 left remaining. No kit here for Hades, and that might just seal the deal. There's not a lot of time. NertZ only needs to prevent 1 stick here, and there's not going to be time.
Yep, he was kind of screwed on that point. NertZ made the correct read that it was indeed just going to be a tap. They shouldn't have kits. Maybe even Max saw it on the player that took him down, having a look at the belt. You can do that. 7 rounds in for Endpoint then. This one looking dominating. We talk about running out of gas in the tank and all that fatigueness that comes in. Endpoint, they'll be frustrated that they lost the last one, but 9 are looking less awake on their CT side, less on it, less crisp, and that's really affecting them.
Yeah, and NertZ is destroying them, which helps as well. MHL's not playing bad either. Big time to show up. Triple nade. Oh, my lord. They actually get in front of it. NertZ is fearless. He sees the nades come through and knows, well, they haven't got guns in hand right now, so he just fully swings. Taken pretty low. Orb exchange of MHL, and now the Polish player can be the point man.
Grouping up outside of B, probably just going to look to burst in towards that area in a few moments' time. Lane control being found pretty easily. You have to watch out for this. Still, Eagle of Goofy's the only thing that stands between them and the B bomb site. They've spread themselves thin, I think, in an attempt to just, find an isolated kill and make it annoying. However, I was going to say, perhaps a gamble comes in towards B off the back of this smoke that's going to hold them down. He was on the way, but he was cut off. MHL continuing to take appendages here, looking for Hades next. Not going to get that one. A fair kill, and now very quickly rotating back towards A, lining up a little bit as well. Getting caught, however, in the end. Goofy as well, going to fall on the other side of things. So all good, just the one kill coming in. Endpoint move to 8, and now a timeout. But this might already be too little too late, to be honest.
Wow. Where did this come from? Where was this endpoint for a lot of these other maps? Starting to look absolutely dominant here on the T side of Ancient. They haven't really put a foot wrong. Yes, Niner made a couple mistakes. But overall, it's just been brilliant. Okay, what are you going to do if you're 9? I mean, they tried a few different looks on mid. They tried out the A aggression. Guess they haven't gone, you know, really hardcore on B yet, but I just feel like they need to play in a way not to give away the entry kills. They haven't really got to a late round situation with all 5 alive.
Yeah, that is very true, actually. And I think Endpoint just working off of that, so we'll see. They've got a quick move onto the tree area, the boost tree. You know where I mean. Guys, you can see the mini-map as well. It doesn't matter, though. Kylar gets a Molotov down. They're going to take him out and finish him off. Surreal left on 5 HP as the nades chase him away.
Yeah, they're hunting him down there deep. Deep window molly into the red room. And NertZ is trying to take a little bit of an angle behind it. Key's coming in close. It's dual inside a lot of the round.
Wow.
And NertZ picks it up. And now Minio's in a lot of trouble. Look at him. Only player in this postcode. And he hits the deck. 9. It stings. It hurts. It's disappointing, but you got to save.
Individually getting bested in a lot of these rounds as well. I think that's what you're talking about, where it's like...
I mean, NertZ is mincing them.
Yeah, NertZ is as well, but Heavy God hits a long-range, clean spray. You know, it's getting kind of silly, some of these attempts and some of these successful attempts as well that Endpoint are finding. And that's this walking on water mode, you know what I mean? And that's what I talk about sometimes when they're just doing nothing wrong, apparently, even though we'd say, well, maybe, you know, you shouldn't go for a peak like that or a fight like that without support. Doesn't matter, they don't need the support right now. So they are on that ascended plane of Counter-Strike that happens when you are indeed 7 and now going to be 8 rounds ahead.
Are 9 going to force in the next? I mean, at what point does this just become, you know, an absolutely grisly scoreline? And you just need to clamber for any round you can find, hold on for dear life. I think they do need to buy. I think they need to drop some M4s over and just keep going and just pray they can get up to 6. More pauses might be a good idea here. This isn't, you know, this isn't a regular season MDL game with the old format. This is elimination with the ultimate prize of Pro League up for grabs. And it feels like it's slipping through 9's fingers. Even with 6 rounds, it's going to be a big ask. And, well, they definitely need to get some more on the board here, or it's going to be insurmountable going into second half. Some key rounds to follow just to hold 9 in this map, holding on for dear life. Hades does get the entry, and they need to build upon this. No mistakes now, lads. You can't drop the ball. They finally got an advantage, and, well, Goofy is absolutely lucky to be alive. Key as well. This is... I'm scared for them, Scrib.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, they're just getting shot by walls, you know, not even people at this point. Nice find from Hades coming in, though. Going to solidify the man advantage that they've got. Recklessness, we talked about it in actually the first round that 9 were able to pick up. And there's a little bit of it here as well, so it may well go the way of that CT side. NertZ trying to find a head, doesn't quite get it. Minio on the jiggle peak. Oh, a lot stronger. There's a 2K round this corner. He's not going to be able to find it, and he does fall through the smoke as well. NertZ proving he's mortal. 161 ADRs, not going to be added to this round. So what now? Only 2 left. Max and Heavy God, they will find themselves one. Might just get a bomb plant, can't get the bomb across though, and Hades in with the 4K. Second round for 9, going to lead a lot more to come with that, but all the same, that one looked pretty damn good, thanks to the big man.
Need to build upon it, though. 2 is not enough, not by any means. work left to be done. And for Endpoint, still a good buy here. They'll have another buy in the next, so they're not panicking whatsoever. Early mid-smoke coming in. That's for the window, and these guys look like they're sprinting, taking very fast spawns. NertZ is going straight in, flashes out. What can you say about this man? Wow. Massive entry, and he struck the fear of God into this CT side. Trying to pair up with his Israeli brethren to make it a two-piece. Hades peeks back in, and this is getting so awkward. CT's put massively on notice here. They are so passive, and they are playing to Endpoint's tune in this round.
It's thinking about moving forwards. Doesn't want to give his life away just yet, though. Use that control into Red Room to his best ability. And that is indeed the play. Hades might be the one to walk into him in just a second. Someone's got to make a move. On the 9 side, it's actually NertZ, so it's just a crosshair movement for Hades. They've got to be careful. Giving him these fights, he's left on 1 HP. How unlucky is that? Minio finishes off a tagged heavy god, and all of a sudden, 9 have found the man advantage.
Goofy is right eye, but this all pretty awkward. This fight does get the kill. MHL posted. Piece back in. Does Goofy's going to hit the deck? He swings. Wow. That was overzealous, I think, and he's just been punished. Hades is on such low HP. If they can just get this bomb down, it's going to be brutal. Minio comes in from behind. MHL peeks into the angle, and now it's just surreal. Molly hits the deck, and he's stuck behind the pillar. If only he could just find Hades. He just needs to get a sliver of bullet on him, and he can't connect.
1 HP, and Hades
they're living on,
survives
man.
it.
Wow.
They are working for these rounds on the 9 side, I'll give you that. But thankfully for them, they get to string 2 together. It means they can survive the blow. Only just, again, the buy takes all their cash. Endpoint hot on their heels and just figuring out the econ a little bit themselves, but they will be able to buy.
I think a quick talk about how they went from a 5-on-4 there to a disadvantage. Obviously, we saw what happened to Heavy God. I'm not totally sure how NertZ went down in the midst of that. They'll know they should have done better. Of course, it's T-side ancient. They're already in an amazing haul, but this is how it'll all come back start if you don't plug the gaps. So, quick discussion. Leave nothing on the table. Kill them while they're down. You know, don't take the boot off the neck. Just end them. End 9 here and now. Make it up to double digits and give them no chance in the second half. That has to be the mentality. And here we go. 9 with a little bit of a recovery, but still, it's not going to be enough. They need to keep going. And they've injected everything into staying alive in these last couple of gun rounds. It's how long can they keep this up?
How long can they keep it up? Indeed, that is the big question. Max gets a flash in onto Goofy and finds him cleanly. Great entry coming in from the in-game leader. Kai is going to be pushed forwards here, but he's definitely been heard, and he's not ready for Surreal on the opposite angle. Yeah, they've committed to the idea, but still move through the nades. This is not looking good. 5-on-3, and it seems effortless from Endpoint. Yeah,
I think someone on 9 needs to also make a really difficult call here and say this play free to a bomb site because their money is disastrous. Hades and Key have some money, but they really need to save 2 rifles. They're going to choose to fight mid. The smoke's going to fade fairly soon. Surreal is holding this angle, and there's a lot of players facing. Minio's going to hit the deck. Kylar's position is given up, and no wonder they're accelerating here onto A, and these 2 9 players need to stop thinking about retaking this bomb site because 5 rounds is doable. If you give up these rifles, you really might be handing over 11 or 12.
Yep, 11 or 12 might be it then. Kylar's still alive, gets his hands onto the AWP. He needs to get out of here. He's kind of fancying the fights a little bit. To come close, but just that one shot being pulled off. NertZ gets him in the backside, and they can now move forwards a little bit scot-free into their 11th, in fact.
They look flustered, 9. That's a really obvious save call. Earlier, 5 or 10 seconds earlier. They look flustered to me, and look at this. They're forcing. Ooh, they really think 11's too much. Too much to give away. This is not looking pretty. This is not the 9 we saw earlier on. Wow, it's going to take a miracle, I think, to come back from here a bit. All the omens are pointing towards Endpoint, just streaking further and further ahead.
First line of defense going to be Goofy on the blue bomb site then. Can't get anything done despite being blinded up. NertZ in at mid. Working around. Works his way back out for a double spray down. He just can't do anything wrong right now. This guy has taken over the game. And again,
The guy.
Yeah, the one and only. Guy's got a bit of an idea here. Ooh, okay. Nearly finding himself a couple. They do need to watch out. The overconfidence factor and all that. But it's Heavy God from behind that deals with him, so there's no madness in this round, of course. What can you do if you're Hades? I would argue take the M4 into the next round for your best possible chance. He's trying to catch an exit or two. Not going to happen for him, and now he needs to watch out that he doesn't sort of pointlessly go down with the bomb. Finds a Heavy God. Finds a Mighty Max and should survive. Nope, actually does go down fully from there. MHL also goes down. Thank goodness it's the final round of the half. Things are getting a bit silly here.
Yeah, of course, those deaths don't matter at all for Endpoint. This is the last round, but not the same story for 9. This buy is just dreadful. For 4 MP9s, I mean, the util is nice. Maybe they can get aggressive. Maybe some B aggression is going to be on the cards to try and get these MP9s up close and personal, but the form some of the Endpoint players are showcasing on this map. Well, at least they've done nade damage to NertZ. Maybe that'll be enough to keep him at bay. Yeah. I mean, that's good news. They don't know it, but NertZ getting taken down early is a very good boon. Oh my god.
Yep, this guy's just taken over the game. Looking for a 12-3 half here on the T side, which is kind of unheard of, to be honest. So, really surprising stuff, and 9 just cannot find it in. I would imagine they should have taken a few more timeouts here. I think the mental has got a little bit boom from them.
Minio, Kylar, Goofy, and Key have 21 kills. Those are 22.
Says it all, really, doesn't it? Yeah. Says it.
This is nightmare fuel. This is horrible if you're 9 to be on the end of.
Well, moving in towards B one last time for this half then. Kai going to try and... Oh, he does actually deny the bomb plant away, but there's just too many bodies to deal with him. Goofy also falls. Hades the last one left, rotating in. A couple missed shots from MHL, but he's smoked off. There's no way he can stop the bomb plant. There's only one way that he can go. Should be easy enough to deal with him here in just a second or two. We'll see what the Farmask can get done, though. Don't write him off just yet, I hear you say. But surely 1 peek and then 2 at the same time is probably how this gets played out. They're not even peeking him, really. Nice find onto MHL. Time working against him now. Needs to make a move in. There it is. Surreal holding for it. 12-3. Oof, that speaks for itself. Don't have to add too much to that one. Endpoint should be staying alive here in European Conference, but we'll find out. We've got a break in between these two halves. Maybe 9 can get it done. Welcome back in, folks. We are here with that second half, of course, Endpoint with an absolute stormer of a 12-3 T-side on Ancient. Those are words I think I've never said before, actually. So they have really defied the odds coming into it, and 9 just looks so deflated, but also at the same time, they have been on the end of a masterclass. We generally say that 20 kills and a half is kind of godlike. As you can see by the scoreboard here, it's worth bringing up. All those stats and the 0 utility damage for NertZ absolutely paint the picture.
He's normally quite good with his nades. He just never got to use them. He'd already killed them, so I guess that was the problem. Anyway, let's get into this one. I will give a quick shout out to Hades. I think he has played a good map of Counter-Strike. He just hasn't had the cavalry behind him. And now getting into this pistol, well, to say this is a must-win for 9 is potentially the greatest understatement of all time. They have to convert this. Key, entry collected, Danger Man hits the deck. That's some very good news. Kind of feels like it's worth 2 kills, honestly, at this point. And 9 collect their entry. They're going to accelerate behind it. Heavy God is the only man on the site, and he's all the way back in Temple. So bomb plant looks like it's very likely to be seeded.
Yep, very true. They're actually going to come off the bomb plant, though, and Heavy God has got other things to say. They might just have thrown away their opportunity for a bit of control in this game, and that looks to be the case.
Oh, God.
He, the last one, the last man standing, and the last bastion of defense and hope and all that for their spot here in Conference. Oh, man. We'll see. We'll see. Stranger things have happened. 4 to 5. They know where he's at now. He gets his hands onto the bomb, and immediately they snatch it back from him. 13 in for Endpoint. And that will mean the game probably going to be over quicker than we would have expected.
Heavy God showing what he can do. NertZ back on the tried and true. And 9, you need to force, brothers. 14 is way too much. 14 to 3 on the CD side of Ancient. That would be, you know, that would be comeback of the, well, I don't want to say comeback of 2023. That wouldn't be that impressive, but comeback of the last 12 months. That's for sure.
Heavy God to chime in first here and find Kai. Looking for a bit more on the slant angle. Lovely stuff. Probably going to send MHL in with the MP9 in just a second here to mop up. They are, I would imagine, just using this, you know, to try and find a kill if we can. Extended timeout type thing. Maybe it'll work for his NertZ. It's a bit of effort, but he does find that kill there onto Carlisle. With his MP7, he's back on it. Back on it. I think he sneaks it in, you know. I reckon they might call a strat and they'll be like, NertZ, please have an MP9 for this one. Otherwise, he's going to sneak that MP7 through.
Bit of a deflating end to this round. Not a lot to talk about. As Endpoint can stew in their likely victory. They would play Sprout. Is that correct? Should they just get this on over the line? I believe
yes, you are correct.
Side.
Quick check of the documentation. That is indeed the case. That will
Feels
be
like pretty rough
tomorrow's first game.
Scary part is that Sprout have a 7 map pool.
Yeah.
The only good news is that Sprout don't like nuke either, so that could be very interesting.
We'll have our eyes on that one, see how it concludes. I'm not entirely sure who's going to be casting it, to be fair, but a different party, to say the least. We split the shifts, as is the norm there. Nonetheless, Goofy going to be leading the charge on this. Can't find anything. Trying his best to get it done. Once again, the slightly changed up angle, you know, might make the boost up a bit weirder. Ooh, Heavy God going down. Flash comes in there. Super effective. He's running rampant in behind him, and Surreal looking damn good. Max chimes in as well.
Wow.
Oh, wow. It just goes from 0 to 100 in a matter of seconds.
I think Heavy God's had enough of NertZ having all the attention. That's what's happening here. The bomb is actually going to make it back to A and probably get planted. NertZ is kind of a decently sized duel. Well,
he gets that with an MP9. Come on. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah. Well, a bit of jeopardy thrown in the mix then. This round looked absolutely nailed on, didn't it, after the entries, but going to come down to an afterplant. These guys are terribly low, but anything can happen with AKs. They can force headshot angles behind this plant box, should they desire. And Endpoint need to make no mistakes right now.
Real. Get the step in. There is a player moving in very slowly through Donut. Nice find from MHL. The bomb ticking away. Still got to be a bit careful. 10 HP for Minio, though, and he obviously has all his attention away. He actually hears Heavy God, but just does not have the HP to work with. 15 going to hit. And 12 series points. That's quite a lot. Certainly our most one-sided game so far of the tournament.
Oh, yeah. Well, certainly since Sprout. Sprout in the early stages had a couple dominating games, but this is absolutely ruinous because it's hard to even see where 9 could have made this compelling. They just got absolutely dumpstered so many of these rounds. And that man NertZ has been in the center of it. MHL, I mean, MHL is having a great game, and it feels like we haven't even noticed him. That's how brutal this has been. And this buy from 9 screams of desperation there. Utility is so lacking. They need to find entries, and Surreal's not going to allow that. This is looking over to me. 4 frags away or Endpoint.
Yeah, looking far too easy. Far too easy indeed. But we'll see. There is still a hope while there's 4 alive. Spamming away, trying to hopefully, you know, catch a head, catch someone through smoke, something along those lines. Anything to come their way at this point would be nice. Just some kind of a break. I mean, they've literally not had one at all in this game. The 3 rounds they got, they really had to fight for. I wouldn't say they've been lucky at any point in this game so far. Heavy God going to eat a tag pretty low down. Surreal going to eat a dink. That's info, and of course him being on 5 HP. So all of a sudden, the 5-on-4 really does rest in the balance. Smoke's going to come out. Heavy God in the smoke just as it goes down. Perfect timing to walk into them. That spin around is mental. And yeah, he's trying his best to catch up. Unfortunately, there's only 1 more kill available here. Heavy God is going to get it. A massive round to see them off. And that will be Endpoint staying alive. 9 run out of gas on Ancient of all places. Kind of unbelievable stuff. A 16-3. Wow. It's been a long time, I think, since I've seen a game that one-sided.
Yeah, what a way to end it. That was unbelievable at the end from Heavy God. And wow, I mean, Endpoint have played some rocky Counter-Strike during this tournament, but they seem to right all their wrongs there on Ancient. That was, by a long shot, the best Counter-Strike they've played in the last few days. So,